Hey, I think I'm actually live now, and this is me in the studio that has been kind of set up recently. I am very grateful to my friend who set it up. Thank you so much. I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to do that. They know who they are, and they're the best ever in the whole universe. So it is freezing in here because it is um, very well insulated and it's just very cold. So I have the heater on and I have some music going, and I just wanted to pop in today to say hello. How is everybody? And to talk about, a little something that I've been meaning to make a video on that I never did. And just to start, I don't know, just to start dialogue. To start getting myself more out there, even though I still kind of want to be a little bit. Those who need to talk to me or want to talk to me or are part of this community will find their way here. I just haven't done a damn thing lately because I have been in the messy middle. I don't know. I'll take a drink. Hold on. I'm super weird and awkward and not really nervous per se. It's just weird because I'm kind of talking to myself. Anyway, so I haven't had the energy to post or do any real readings unless it's been pre-booked events in person that's local to the Harrisburg area. I used to do all of this living journey stuff before. I started in 2019, and then at the end of 2020 I had to pack it in. I just didn't have the energy anymore, and I don't think most of us did. But I am back, and like things fall into my lap and then they fell into place, and then it was like, okay, I'm ready to go, and then it's like, no, not yet. And I feel like this happens a lot, and some of it is I'm always second guessing, is this the right time to do something? Anything that I want to do, like for the living journey, to really announce myself or to put money into something like getting a little website so that people could book readings or counseling sessions with me. I tried at first to do tarot, tea and tarot Tuesdays or something. I don't know. I was trying to be kitschy, and I was sort of copying other creators of the spiritual nature because I thought, well, it does sound something like I would like to do, but right now I don't think it's a thing because I don't really have much of a crew yet. I don't have much of a following like I did in 2019. I had a built-in following that I started with. Since I'm starting over, I don't really, I don't have that yet. And I think that's a lesson for me to be patient. Things do not happen overnight, and if they do, they might be too much. I get overwhelmed easily with life. I'm wildly neurodivergent. I, also have depression, anxiety, all those things that are lovely. But I have a kid who's 8, and he's wonderful, and he's also neurodivergent on the spectrum, ADHD, and it's a lot. It's just a lot. I'm trying to get my house set up and get more involved locally, but I would like to also reach people who may not live near me. And maybe some of the people here I've worked with before. But the messy middle, one of the biggest things that I want to express and that I have gone through myself is showing up. I feel like I would oftentimes just not show up because I felt like I wasn't showing up as my best self. And I think part of the messy middle is showing up how you are right now. I look very pretty today, thank you. I didn't actually plan any of this today. Well, sort of had an idea about maybe this part of it because I'm super excited about this space and that people can physically come get a reading from me at my location whenever it works out. They can have counseling sessions here, and I want to create a space that's warm, even though it's freezing in here. Anyway, so the messy middle, what the point of the story is. Don't worry about waiting. And this last session with Midtown Mage, shout out to Kelly from Midtown Mage. I did her Coffee and Crystals event, and it was really good. It was so powerful for me. I don't even care if you guys got anything out of it. Just kidding. Because I feel like I connected so hard with a lot of people. It really put some wind back in my sails. Like, maybe I can do this. Maybe this is, follow me like me. But that means showing up. Even if you're kind of crappy or you're not feeling your best. Feel it out. You don't want to force anything, which is also a lesson that I've learned lately. I can't force it. But the messy middle. I don't want to show people what it's like after I've already worked through some of my shit. I want them to see me in the shit. And right now I'm in the shit. I just have a very pretty face on today. So I'm perimenopausal because I'm 46 and I think I'm crazy almost every single day. I'm super depressed. I don't clean my house because that's a struggle for me, and I get angry with everybody all the time. But I really try to keep it to myself, or I try to reflect and say, is this me? Is this hormonal? Is this just, am I projecting? And I'm in my messy middle, and everybody needs to see what it looks like to actively heal. We don't even realize we're always doing it, but we are. So if you're in your fucking messy middle, congratulations and welcome, because you are in good company. This is what I'm for. I think I might pull some cards, and then I have to pop out again because my son will be home from school relatively soon, and I always do, I am cutting it to the very quick. But I wanted to share that the reason I haven't been super active is because I couldn't make it work, and I was really depressed. And I'm not out of my depression, and I probably never will. I have chronic depression. I'm still dealing with how to make a place for myself, and if you're in the same spot, okay, here we are. So this is the living journey. I am Miss K, or Kara, and I'm gonna do a reading, and you can like it or you can't, or you don't, I don't care. If it's for you, awesome, great. If you feel so inclined, follow me. If you would like to book a reading, my link is somewhere. I have a booking site, whatever. And this is where we will be. This is where I will try to do most of my videos, if I actually do videos regularly. I don't know yet, because I'm in my messy middle. All right, so enough talking. What's going to carry us through this week? That's interesting. There was a card that was face up. Yeah, none of the other ones are. I'll show it to you in a minute. Alright, I don't know if anything else is actually going to come out. This might just be the thing. Which I do. I love that. I love what it is. I don't even remember what it means, but I love it. I mean, I know what it means, but... Whoop. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So I'm actually pulling from the Wild Mystic Oracle deck. It's just one of my go-tos right now. I also have Sacred Rebels and the Psychic Tarot. Half the time I don't even have to go into the tarot itself because the messages I get are just, that's it. And that's the way it's been lately, but things are also shifting, but again, we're kind of going to be in this space for a minute. I think a lot of shit is going to change and happen all the way through the beginning of 2025. I mean, I'm not God, I don't know, but it's a feeling. We've been feeling this for a minute, so I'm just going to quickly pull from the Sacred Rebel deck. And this is just going to be a very quick check-in for this week, March 6th through the 12th, I believe. Mother's Day, Sunday. It's also my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Sarah! Her name rhymes with mine, and we look alike. And we are not twins, but we seem to be. Okay. These cards are so hard to shuffle. They're so big, and my hands are so small. Okay. I don't want all three of these. That's ridiculous. No thanks. I mean, they're great and all, and they make sense, but no. One. Just one is all I need, because I gotta keep an eye on the door, make sure my kid doesn't... There we go. Okay. I'm gonna take them, but I can't go into them. They're... I mean, I can always make a post later with the full descriptions. So, because these cards are like, oh, that's not even the right box, dummy. These cards are very, very, very in depth. Just gotta check my time. Check the app to see where my child is. Alright, he's on his way here. So I have a few minutes, but I'm going to be getting off really quick here. I don't know if I'm going to have time for this, but if you catch this later and you want me to do an actual, like, another, whatever, video or a live with a better explanation of things, I would be happy to do that. You just have to let me know that you'd like it. So, quick for the week. We have Sacred. Okay, that's it. Good job. Oh my god. Okay, it's all good stuff, man. Doesn't always feel that way, but we have Sacred Starfish. I don't know if you can see that. My camera had it for a second. We have Wisdom. And we have Rebirth. Duh. Another card that popped out really quick was Trust Yourself. Yeah, trust yourself. You got this. And you know. And part of this, just like a fear, stop. Just like the whole theme of showing up in the messy middle. Just show up. It doesn't matter if you're a mess. Everybody else is a mess too. Nobody has their shit together. So just show up and do the thing. You are in the process of actually, you've already shifted, you've already changed. We have already been reborn in a sense. We have made it through that. We're not, I mean, we're always in that space and we're not 100%, but we're out of a lot of it and we're stepping into the wisdom that we learned during the time of like, this is fuckery. And so it's time to step forward, and we're gonna, we're gonna hit some roadblocks. We're not going to have the paths completely laid out before us, that this is about saying you have made a transformation, now it's time to move into action phase. Take all that wisdom that you're gaining, and it's an active process. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It is an active process. Take one step and then another and another. When we need to rest, rest. Do it. When it's time to move, you'll know. If things feel like they're getting too hard, or you can't, every time you go to do it, it stops, you have your answer. Take a rest. I have to take a break real quick because my son is just about to be here. Even if you don't feel ready, we don't always have a choice. Sometimes you have to make a step and you have to go and do the thing, or take a step towards the thing, whether you feel like you're ready or not. So that is the messy middle. Are you ever really in a place where you're not? I mean, there are times when we're like in our power and we're vibing and it's great, but you can still be in your messy spots and show up like that. It's okay. No one has all the answers. No one. Absolutely no one. If they tell you they do, walk away. So this week, at least today, tomorrow, take one step forward. Chances are you've already done it by the time you see this, or you're in the process of doing it as you see this, and you know who I'm talking to. You'll know that I'm talking to you, or that this is for you. You'll resonate with it. With the sacred card, we are guided, we are protected, and even when we feel like we're really, really alone in this and we're walking on that path on our own, we're not alone. I mean, even when we have to be alone and isolate ourselves or go through that, I want to call it the egg phase, when you're in the womb and you're actively healing, and you cut yourself off from just about everything so you can really go deeply inside yourself and inside the universe. You're not alone. You're always held. And there's just so much that you've learned over the last several months, weeks and months. There's so many revelations, I want to say, even like epiphanies that have come, and sometimes they come so fast that you don't even remember them. Like, it makes sense and it's just there. Like, if, like when you get a download, or when you get information from spirit and you just know, and then next thing you know, it's gone out of your brain. It's because you've already put it in, you've already integrated it, you already carry it with you regularly, you know it's there. But all of that is kind of culminating right now into what we're going to need to do next, and that's different for every single person. For me, it's getting a little more present with the living journey and trying a little bit more with that, and I'm planning some events for people if you're interested. It means just whatever that looks like for you. Going back to school, actually pulling the trigger to go to school, it's signing those papers. It's or maybe you're going through a divorce and you're just not, you don't feel like you're ready to sign or to make that choice. If that is where you're being drawn, then you're gonna know that the steps are gonna need to start taking those steps. And if we resist, I know I do sometimes, a lot. When we resist, and if we continue to resist because we're just not sure, we just don't have enough proof, or we just need more confirmation, I don't know, I can't trust myself, this isn't what I'm supposed to do, a tower moment comes in a lot of times. Tower's not bad, it's just usually very shocking because there are times when we are not following the path that we're supposed to be on, or we're not doing what we're really called to do in our heart, whatever that is. It could be anything from something super mundane to something massively profound. Something inevitably happens that gets us to where we need to recognize that and take a step. And so we are actively transforming still. And as we are transforming, we are protected, we are held. We may not trust ourselves, but it's ground yourself, trust yourself, reach out, become a bridge between, and I talk about this all the time, the earth, the lower chakras, and the upper chakras. Get in your heart space and balance yourself out so that you can actively move through the transformation. Because it doesn't happen overnight, and it happens so little at a time. Sometimes it's very rapid, but right now it's simultaneously rapid and slow. I can't explain it. But it's happening. If you stop and look at yourself where you were 3 months ago, you're probably not even in the same position, or you have had some more insight into why the things that are happening are happening. And if you compare yourself to where you were a year ago, it's going to be even more drastic. So it happens moment by moment, and we really need to remain present and not necessarily project too far into the future or worry about the future too terribly much. And we also don't want to be looking back too hard. We did make mistakes, and the wisdom is there, and we are carrying it actively with us forward. So that is for sacred, wisdom, and rebirth. This is rebirth. There we go. So the way I see it is like this. Wait, what? One, everything's backwards. This way. No, we do it this way. Okay, so I see it this way, which is, no, wait, what? Yes, no. Yes, finally, okay, almost. Almost there, Kara! Good Lord, nobody wants to see this. First, here is sacred. So it's sacred, wisdom. No, not wisdom, fuck! You know what I mean. Sacred, wisdom, and rebirth. There we go. Why is that so hard for my brain right now? Okay, so this is the way I see it, which is from left. This is my left. This is your right. Sacred, wisdom, rebirth. And they're interchangeable. Not interchangeable, but they're all blended together, and that's why we're so confused about everything. But you know what you're supposed to be doing is the point, okay? So fine, whatever. Said this was going to be quick, but... from Sacred Rebels, we have softly, softly, tender to the touch, and that one I will actually read from the book because it is just the way it is. I do feel like that we are in a place where we want to give ourselves a lot of grace. Pretty much always though, but right now specifically, um, the words that come out of our mouth have meaning. And if we're talking negatively about ourselves, I don't know about you, but I'm like constantly saying, even in my head, negative things about myself, and it's something that we really need to look at and examine. I don't want to shame us for that, because a part of grace is a forgiveness per se, like per se sounds no, is forgiving ourselves. It's okay. We are still people, and we have our things that we carry with us, and we have traumas from this lifetime and other lifetimes, and just want to be mindful of what are we saying to ourselves and why, and is it even our voice? And a lot of times it's out of fear or shame or guilt, and we don't need to carry most of that with us, but for a while, just give yourself a little grace. Try, instead of, oh, this is it, right, okay, I forgot about this. I was just reminded of this. Instead of saying affirmations, or when you talk shit about yourself, instead of saying, no, that's not right, just say, you know what if? Say affirmations. Instead of, I am amazing, I am successful, I am beautiful, I am smart, or I am capable and worthy. Say, what if I am smart enough? What if I am good enough? What if I do know? What if I do fit in? What if? So change it, instead of like getting all mad at yourself or whatever, instead of doing that and creating a shame spiral, just take a deep breath and just rephrase it a little bit. What if I'm a dummy? I'm not, but when I get mad, or I trip and fall, or I try to force something, you dummy. What if I'm not a dummy? What if I am supposed to be doing this? What if this is my purpose? What if it is supposed to be slow right now? And what if it will be successful? So just try it and tell me if it works or not. And that's a little reminder for me too, because I thought about this the other day, but this is something I learned like 2 years ago, and I've forgotten it existed, and then it popped into my little brain, and it was probably for a reason. So this card just reminds me that we want to remember that we're all sacred, and remember that we are all loved and held and deeper than we could possibly imagine, and that the things that we give power to have more power, and the things that we say out loud and to ourselves internally matter. So this is for, let's try this way. Softly, softly, tender to the touch, the feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things, but don't necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it's time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of feminine wisdom. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, what did I tell you about force? Oh, my camera's all mad at me right now. So anyway, we are generally taught the more force we use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve, and the feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we want and what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it internally and in our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. So this is, I'm going to read this last bit. To feel that you are already naturally abundant being, to feel that you are already a naturally abundant being who gratefully invites more of what you want into your life is rather different to feeling lack, fear, or wishing your world would change. It is a bit like dressing for the job you want, even if it is not the job you have. You energetically embody what you wish to attract more of into your life. Like attracts like. So I don't know about you, but I've been actually pretty stuck. When I say I've been in the messy middle and here's my camera not working again, I screwed it up. Hello. It just doesn't like when I do that with my cards. Cards are very shiny. Come on. There we go. All right. So, I mean, I've been stuck in a lot of negative thought patterns and worry and fear, and that's okay. I'm telling myself right now in front of you that that is okay, because I'm a person and life is scary. So it's more of the what if isms. What if I'm okay? What if things are going to work out? You don't have to jump into believing. Sometimes it's just not possible. So just take it as a what if. And I'm going to leave that card exactly where it is. I did get this one before recently, Pandora's Gift. What if things work out? What if there isn't anything scary once I open that box and take that step? I'm going to quickly look at that, but I'm not going to read the card. Form 5. Okay, that makes sense right now. Pandora lives within us as our curious nature, yearning to conquer chaos, evil, and darkness with the light of knowledge. She is the hopeful voice of our soul that asks the questions and, in doing so, triggers the process that brings the answers. Sometimes it is through uncomfortable learning that we find our treasure. Pandora reminds us that the process of learning can take us to places that seem like the end of our world, and yet not all is lost. Even now, the light within you is stirring for new revelation, new life, and new adventure. Pandora is all gifted and all giving. Her presence invites you to forego your beliefs and judgment. Now is the time to surrender the misplaced guilt that you have brought upon yourself or another, some terrible happening. I don't know, I think I read that wrong, but you should understand that a little bit. That you may have placed. So I've kind of been there. I've been very frustrated and feeling resentful and angry lately, and it might not be fully deserved right now. But you can also feel that way about yourself. And so, again, grace. Pandora frees the souls from such torment. It's about shame-based belief. It's time to let that go. Take that step. Because you are actively transforming. You're actively transmuting and the messy middle. And that's okay. Because we're never going to have our shit together. And that's okay. It's not about like having our shit together. That's not the point. Happiness isn't even the point. And I have to remind myself of this a lot, is that we're not here to be happy. We're not here to learn. We're not here to heal. We're just here to experience. And There's going to be pain and happiness and tiredness and guilt and everything that we feel we are supposed to be feeling, and that's okay. Uh, there's a lot of injustice that's not okay, and we can, I can't even talk about that right now because it makes me so angry. But there are times when we feel helpless, and so it's such a cheesy thing, but it does start with us. Okay, so moving on really quick to the 3 tarot cards that popped out. These are great. This would traditionally be the One of Cups, or the One of Cups. Fuck. Ace of Cups. Love begins. It's time to love the journey. It's time to love yourself. It's time to love the lessons sometimes, or the wisdom that has come from those lessons. Fulfillment of wishes. That was in, I believe, this card. What we want, attracting what we want. Now listen, I do not fully 1000% subscribe to the law of attraction. Psychologically, I can tell you why it is a thing that can, be a thing. But if bad things happen to you in your life, it is not your fault. And sometimes people get hung up on the law of attraction, and that's kind of what it says, it's like your life is always shitty, it's all your fault because you don't think positively. Sometimes thinking positively does not stop someone from abusing you or from being oppressed in an oppressive system. Okay, just want to throw that out there. Anyway, so that's a thing. But knowing when to have anger and rage and get that out of your system, and knowing when to be grateful is a process. And it is truly an art form. Sometimes we need to have a rage journal, right? And other times we need to sit ourselves down and say, listen, quit being a little bitch. Think about something positive for once. So knowing when to do that is absolutely an art form, and it takes time. And here we are, kind of getting there, actually. So congratulations. And then we also have Triumph, which is the Chariot. So that speaks to today, right now, where you may have already achieved it by the time you see this, or you will be doing it soon, is that fucking hell, it's time to take a huge step, or a baby step, or whatever. But I don't know, I feel slingshot a little bit today. I felt like this thing had to happen, and it did, and now here we are. So if you feel yourself being like flinged, whatever, forward, if you have randomly gotten a burst of energy and taken a huge step today, congratulations, or this week. Because that's what a lot of this week, I think, is about. It's putting everything into action that we have been sitting on the last several weeks and kind of ruminating over. And you'll get how far ever, wait, let me try that again. You're going to get however far you are meant to get. There might be a little bit of pushing involved, but not so much. You can't force it. So, how are you guys feeling? How are you holding up? And thank you. If you see this and you actually watch it. So if any of this resonated with you, thank you. Could you let me know? That's fine. I mean, you don't have to. Like I go. If it resonates, feel free to leave a comment. If you would like the full reveal of the studio and stuff, at some point I'm going to do it, and it's going to happen in my companion group only first, and then everybody else will be able to see it later. So if you'd like to book a session with me, find the link somewhere, or just send me a message or whatever. Thanks, and I'll see you later. Good luck today and this week.